Y empezamos, this is going to be in Spanish because we're in Mexico. Empezamos en 3, 2, dije desde 10, así que 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 y Tetris. We start our first batch of qualifiers. We actually have 4 players qualifying right now. We have Nowi, who you can see is on your left side of the screen. He's the reigning Mexican champion. And we have Monochromie. Is that how you say it? I believe. He's our first time ever participant in a Mexican or any tournament for that matter, which is really nice to see. Always like seeing new people around. Off stream, we have our international abroad player, who I'm looking at right now, but you're not looking at, AV Geek, which is currently dancing. And right beside her, we have a Pollo Chido Man, which is the second Mexican pollo. That's a really big coincidence. 2 people being called chicken in the Mexican community. Also a brand new player, which I think has the potential to qualify for tomorrow's tournament. So that's going to be interesting to see. A brand new player making its debut in its first regional live tournament for Mexico City. Monochromie plays Tetris Effect Connected, I think. Pollo Chidoman also plays Tetrio. Yeah, I'm familiar with Pollo Chidoman. For those who don't know, this is Pollo, your host, today's host for the tournament. Today's and tomorrow's host for the tournament. And Pollo Chidoman is a notable member in the guideline community. Plays Tetrio really well. I think he's one of the top-rated players in Tetrio within the country. Monochromie has experience with Tetris Effect Connected. I think this is the first time that he's playing on CRT, which we're gonna corroborate a little bit, which is really different. You can see it's throwing some people off. I'm not sure if Pollo Chidoman also plays on CRT, which timings are slightly different. I might remind everyone that this is number of maxouts, and then the kicker, which means for those brand new people that are watching us, there are a couple of players here that are capable of achieving over 1 million score points, and we're gonna count the number of maxouts that these players have, and then we're gonna. If there's a tie between maxouts, let's say 5 maxouts for Oscar, Nowi, AV, then we're gonna decide it on the highest non-maxout score. So if Nowi got a 900k, then Oscar got an 800k, and then AV got a 1.1, then AV would be your highest rated seed. But you cannot submit. That's a nice observation there. You cannot submit a 1.1 as kicker because that would be a max out. AV. Well, you can submit a 99998. That would be a kicker. So that would be the highest rated kicker. You have to forgive me there. We're doing some technical shenanigans while we're simul streaming. And this is not the finals. This is the qualifying rounds. My really helpful friend Jorge White, which also is the main organizer, is helping me out with all of the technical stuff. Pollo is not as proficient on it as well. So we're seeing Monochromie 69,000, another top out, starting on level 16, which is an interesting level selection for those that are aware of that. He's waiting for the rocket screen to go out as well. We're playing on the on the original good stuff. Original NESs, original anything or everything, original TVs. Now it's at 353,000 with 117 lines. Not the biggest pace right now. Misdropping a little bit. He's probably thinking, man, I'm gonna miss the Barcelona game. I just want to get this over with. So now we transition with 390,000. This is going to require either really strong consistency or really strong post-transition from Nowi. Nowi taking a deep breath. I'm going to quote my pal Bandy on that. If you're going, I don't know how many miles, you're going to go way faster now that you're on transition. You can see that just the amount, the change watching at Nowi's game. The second fastest ever, the second fastest speed on an original cartridge versus level 15, which is the third, I believe, if I'm doing math correct. That's for Nowi, 456,000 for Nowi. I think this is Nowi's first game. We're 6 minutes into the qualifier. Pollo Chido Man singing along. I wish you could see Pollo Chido Man vibing really hard. So now we're getting a little high. Doesn't matter for those unaware. Let's see if we can get a little bit of the rolling. I mean, I think every single member of the community now is aware of rolling, what it is, what it does, what it doesn't do. And what rolling doesn't do is go slow. Rolling goes pretty fast. Our top players, every single top player nowadays uses roll. Very few people use tap, and even then, it's a really lopsided match if you try to put a roller against a tapper. Now we're rolling there. You can see it on the motion. We got a pretty good angle there on that camera. You can see he taps a lot of the pieces. He taps a lot of the pieces and then rolls when you have to roll a lot of places. Puts the back, pushes the controller into his hand with the back. That glove you can see. I mean, I think most of us are initiated in the world of rolling, but for those that are unaware, I saw one member of the community typing out that it's been a while since he didn't caught all the action in Classic Tetris. You're here in a good time. So our two qualifiers right now are our four qualifiers right now. We have 4 stations running. We're gonna be seeing these two for the moment. It's Nowi, Monochromie. Then we have Pollo Chido Man, and then AV Geek, our international player, hailing from the country of Texas. There we go. Now we transitions into 29. Pretty efficient game so far, I believe, as he transitioned with a 300,000. You have to remember. So this is pretty remarkable for Nowi. Now it's gonna be left into the 29 portion of the game, closing in onto the max out. Max out for AV Geek now, the first one of the qualifier, and now he tops out at 992. So we have a kicker there. We're gonna get AB's game registered. So Jorge White is taking care of the registration of the scores. We're gonna input that into a spreadsheet, which we will show you shortly. And then we're going to see the ranking. Also, this is the top 12 qualifiers for the day. We also have Oscar Godinez, also a really heavy hitter player in the community. Gold bracket competitor 4 times in a row, 2022, 2023, 2024, and I think I missed the 2021 qualifier, in which he also made it into the gold bracket. Monochromie deciding to go once more for the 16 start. Now we have a kicker for Nowi. So now let's use that example for those tuning in into the qualifier stages. AB got a max out on one of our side stations. That's gonna put her into the first seat for the moment being. Now with that 998 is going to go into the second seed of the day so far. Today is going to be qualifiers. Nice adjustment there from Monochromie. You can see the prowess that he has. Tried to adjust there for the long bar. Now waiting for it to score that Tetris. Nice square though there for Monochromie. There's a long bar. 84,000 for Monochromie. 232,000 for Nowi. So we're 11 minutes into our qualifiers. Another top out there for Monochromie. Now we win with a much better pace now. 300,000 now on the. I can see pretty clearly the 59 lines on the 50 line mark. 59. This is a pretty good pace actually for Nowi. Anula Mufa says Nowi, which is no bad luck for me this time. We could say that. How could we translate the Latin American terminology? So basically now outscoring his past game's transition. It was a pretty fairly post-transition game into 19, making up for that 300,000 transition. So if you do math, that's almost or that's near 700k post. Pretty good efficiency for Nowi. Also has been playing really good 29. I was watching some of his games on the side stations warming up. Another top out there for Monochromie, going back and forth on 16 and 15 starts, with which 16 starts are 18 speeds for those that are into the game mechanics, how the game works. 15 speed is slower than 16, and 16 is the same. Nice T-spin there. Really hard to hit those when you are probably more accustomed into an LED. Someone mentioned that he had previous experience playing Tetris Effect Connected, which if you haven't checked out, highly recommend that. And that's gonna be played on LED on something more modern. Now getting used to the old hardware is gonna be rough. Did you max with DAS?
Yeah.
And AV maxed with DAS. But AV maxed with DAS. Apparently hadn't maxed with DAS in 2 weeks and just did it in the first game.
Yeah, I can't really roll into these streams. The arms are too high.
So AV was also present in the Jonas Cup. Amazing showing there. Runner-up in the most recent? March. DAS Masters. It's nice to have the players right by my side so I can ask the information right to them instead of like trying to look it up while I commentate.
Why am I on 650 for this?
So now what 650 pays for AV off screen. You just have to place it in your imagination. She's doing pretty good. And someone who's also doing pretty good is Nowi. Lost a little bit of pace on that later portion of 18, but this is still pretty good pace. Next 3 lines, triple, or Tetris is going to transition. Him is going to transition with a triple. As the longboard is not showing up, this is a really big drought. Fairly experienced there from Nowi to take the triple instead of waiting for a Tetris and potentially topping out. That was the longboard Nowi was eagerly waiting for. Now 6-2-2 for Nowi into the transition level 20. So 24 Tetrises. If this were a competitive match, now it would be 24 Tetrises ahead of his competitor Monochromie. We'll miss rotation there from Nowi. Nice burns, efficient burns. That hole is gonna be problematic. It's right in the middle of the hole, and it's jagged, so getting down to it is gonna be rough. Nice sequence of solves. Nice adjustment for the longboard. Tetris there for Nowi in the middle. 688 for Nowi. This is more than maxed out pace for him. And now Tetris there for Nowi, 700,000. Now this is the nice thing about qualifiers. This is pretty different from the tournament play. What are you gonna choose to do? Are you gonna choose to back off a little bit from the pace now that you're really far ahead on max out pace? Are you gonna try to max as early as possible so you can squeeze as many games as possible? It's gonna be a 1-hour qualifier, so efficiency is required. I was talking with AB that we had 16 max outs in CTWC. So in theory, you could get 9 max outs within an hour, going basically perfect, and also doing 19 starts. That's probably not gonna happen right now, but I could see some 5-6 max outs going on. Oscar coming up in a few moments. I'm not sure if he's gonna pick the next lot of qualifiers. He is known in the Latin American community as the clutch up master. He always brings it up when it's CTWC time, when it's qualifiers time. He always clutches up. He always locks in, as it's commonly said nowadays. And this is a really good game for Monochromie. It's 200,000. I believe this is his highest score so far. There we go. Now we're nearing the transition, 29. Preferably getting this done. That Tetris is almost gonna do it. That's not quite enough, but preferably getting it done before 29. Monochromie giving that this game sucks smile, and another max out there for Nowi. The first max out for Nowi. We have a max out on a 998. No, ¿lo estás anotando? Ah, está anotado. No te preocupes. Jorge already inputting the scores, and now we're gonna. I think we can take a look at it now. So these are our 2 players qualifying. We're gonna try to get this down a little bit, so you can see the Monochromie's beautiful face. This is the scores. I'm sorry. We're multitasking here, folks. There we go. So now that we're here, I just gazed upon that. There's a match arena going on for the event. The winner is gonna get 50% of the prize pool. So if we get $1, he's gonna get 50 cents. If we get $1,000, he's gonna get 500. So first place is gonna get 50%. Then second place is gonna get 30%, and then third place is gonna get 20% of the total prize pool. So who funds the prize pool? You do. The beautiful people watching the tournament fund the prize pool. Go into the chat and type. How do you say the thing that's going down? The command. Exclamation mark. I'm sorry. We're OG Mexicans. Exclamation mark Maturino. So you type exclamation mark Maturino. There we go. Thank you, Vince Squirrelli. And well, maybe support these players to fund their trip to CTWC to the main event, which, by the way, main event Pasadena. A beautiful place, beautiful venue, beautiful organization, and another max out there for AV Geek. No, another. Okay, a kicker. We have a kicker for AV Geek. And where's this taking place? You may ask. Well, Mexico City, of course, capital of this beautiful country, land of great food, great beverages, great places to visit, great beaches, great everything. Mexico City. There we go. You can see AB's kicker is going to be shown in real time in a little bit in that qualifying table that you're seeing right on Monochromie side of the screen. Oops. So we're at the Mono Gaming Center, Mexico City, in a beautiful neighborhood called La Condesa. This is a really nice spot to have the tournament being run at. There's a lot of places here, so if you want to drop by, if you're maybe seeing this Mexico City nearby and you say, I don't know if I should go. Beautiful places here to eat, beautiful people to hang out after. We have our qualifiers, and we're going to do a couple of more rounds here of qualifiers, more rounds. It's going to go up until a little bit late in the evening. There we go. We see now AV's kicker being updated into the spreadsheet. 874. So now you can see the kicker portion of the qualifier being taken into consideration. Now we have a max out, a 992 kicker. EB also has a max out, but she has an 874 kicker, so that's gonna put Nowi on first seed so far. And this is also a really nice game for Nowi. Usually you would like to see 400 to 500,000 at the 100 line mark. Now Nowi's cracking that 400,000 before the 100 line mark. So this is a pretty nice space to consider if you're going to try to max out. Really different dynamics here being taken into consideration for qualifiers. You're gonna favor consistency over really high scores. Although getting a really high score would also mean that you'd max early, and you're probably gonna have a couple more games within your hour span of the qualifier. So this is a nice chicken and mouse game. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go efficient? Are you gonna go aggressive and try to squeeze in as much games as you can? Are you gonna get an in between in there? Monochromie dinging very high. You really need great precision to hit those skill stops. You can see he's dashing. Vastly different playstyle. Dashing is just holding the controller the old-fashioned way. So we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube also. If you don't like Twitch, if you're not Twitch's colors, if you don't like Twitch's layout, go to YouTube, there's no excuse. Now with transitions, by the way, at almost a 600,000 transition. Once more, pretty good transition pace. Now it was recently at a qualifier with the same qualifying method was used, number of max outs and a kicker. Now we got 5 maxes within an hour. So let's see if 6 max outs within an hour qualify correct in there now. My friend, my least cracked friend there. So now we're getting there 672,000 there for now. We're nearing the 29 transition. Getting some work done on that left side of the board. A couple of holes are gonna be slowing down Nowi a little bit. Still in good pace though, 681,000 for him. That's the cleared hole now. And there we go, Tetris for now. We 713,000. Nearing the 29. Well, he's in 23. Not quite there yet. Can slow down a little bit, but let's see what he chooses to do. He's gonna try to max as early as possible. So you can see that's why the players max out and then immediately top out. They are not needed to qualify. They are not needed to go further than that, not other than 1,000,000 points in their games. That's gonna be reserved for tomorrow's tournament, which is gonna be where people face off in the tournament play. It's gonna be top 12. And there we go. Now with an 800,000 at level 25, this is really comfortable there for looking for that max out. And this is gonna be a 1.1 pace, over a 1.1 pace, not quite 1.2, if I'm doing the math correctly. But you can see now they're taking a couple of burns. You don't have to go all out in. Monochromie topping out, waiting for the rocket screen to go away. You can see now they're taking the burns. You don't have to go super aggressive and pray for the pieces to come. You have more than enough pace. 2 Tetrises more will do it. For Nowi, on to 27. No Tetris. Actually, a triple, 2 triples might do it. But now he's probably gonna go for the Tetris. It's getting to the point where you want to probably do it, and there we go. Another max out there for Nowi, topping out immediately. And now we start his second game. Tetris there for Monochromie. Now we're going for the third max out there. This was a back-to-back max out. It was almost a back-to-back max out, but no, son 27 minutos desde que empezamos. 27:30. 27:40. Exactitos. So we're 27 minutes and 45 seconds to be exact into the qualifiers. Still slightly over half an hour to go. So we have a couple of spectators here, just watching the tournament, watching the players, distracting Nowi. That's good. I want Nowi to be distracted, so we face earlier in the earlier rounds. For those that don't speak Spanish, now we're just saying that he's worse than Pollo, and he's afraid to play him, so that's totally what he said. Said that he's pretty used to playing, being distracted. Playing in a family environment usually gets you accustomed to that sort of thing. Of course we're going to do the stream in English. Most of our audience is based in the US. Monochromie smiling a little, thinking to himself, this is a good dig. I might get out of this. Sets up an unintentional T-spin, and it's going to top out 104 for Monochromie. 213 for Nowi, 46 lines. And let's see how our off-stream players are doing. I'm going to take a quick look, and I'm going to update you on that.
Look at this
Yeah, so we have a pretty good pace for AV. I'm not gonna bother her. I just pretty good pace. I'm gonna tell you after the game is ended. And then we go. We have Pollo Chido, Pollo Chido man, doing 9 starts. So pretty good pace for AB. Once I pick that, it's gonna be interesting to see how far she can get with that pace. It's gonna get close actually between Nowi and AV. Although Nowi's technically one game in the future. I believe AV has stopped out at least one game before Nowi did. So now they are Nowi's ahead on the game. Okay, so
1.2.
so
I
AV
maxed into 26.
AV maxed out. That was a spoiler I was trying to avoid. AV maxed out into 26, choked the 1.2. So we have a second max out there for AV with DAS. I may remind you, she usually rolls in the later portions of the game, but now she's dassing. Had been a while since she hadn't dassed, for what she's telling me. So another max out there for AV. For those wondering, that was a 1.1, and it was close to a 1.2 with dash. So that's why it's so remarkable. Oh, we had a $20 contribution. Actually, I didn't see that. I didn't quite catch that. Let me see who was it from. We have multiple things running here. I didn't quite catch that. I see a really small number in the monitor that I'm using here. So we had a $20 contribution from Ben Squirrely. Thank you very much. That's gonna help immensely our players who, I may remind you, are gonna go to Classic Tetris World Championship being held in Pasadena in June, the latter part of June. The prize pool is gonna go straight to them, straight to the top 3. How is the third place gonna be decided? The third place is gonna be decided within the semifinals. We're not gonna have a third place match. The sum of the top 3 scores played when you lost that game are gonna be tallied, and then we're gonna decide the third place that way. Between the 2 semifinals that are going to be played in tomorrow's tournament. I may remind people that this is the qualifying rounds. Now it transitions with 580,000, by the way. Pace alert. And now it's going to Anula Mufa. So pace alert. And this could be a back-to-back for Nowi. Almost a back-for-back. Having a pretty good day. Also didn't play yesterday, so the strats are probably going to be resting your brain, your hands a day before. So 683 there for Nowi into 2021. Monochromie 81,000 doing a 16 start once more. 700,000 there for Nowi. You can see the big difference in the speed for rollers now versus the DAS player. Can go way more aggressive, where you play way higher, play much more elevated there. 34 minutes have passed since the qualifier starts, so we're having about 25-26 minutes in-ish left to go for our first batch of qualifiers to be done. I think our next heavy hitter within the qualifying route is going to be Oscar, which is not here, I think. Probably went to eat tacos or something, I don't know. And let's see if our main organizer, Jorge, is going to qualify next. If he can have a breather of the stress of plugging in 4 setups and capture cards and cameras and lighting and everything. So small hole there for Nowi, but pretty good score as well for Nowi. It's gonna need a piece that on that left side. Nice flat burn there for with that J piece. 924,000, so pretty close to max out base. Pretty close to the max out now. It's probably gonna go 30 there. Has the ability to go 30 there. Just needs the long bar, which is not showing up. Board's getting slightly high. Now slightly dependent. There's the long bar, but you don't need it. And now working that. Now this is getting slightly closer, still comfortably maxing out before 29. And we saw in the first game that now it has 29 capability, so it doesn't matter that much. Banking in on that long bar for the last Tetris. A triple would do it. He just needs the million points there. There we go, max out, another max out for Nowi. A19. See. Third max for Nowi. Back three back there for Nowi. So let's remind our viewers that Nowi is our reigning Mexican champion. So he's our latest crowned Mexican champion there. Later in the day we're gonna have Oscar Godinez qualifying, who is the Latin American champion. Now he was the Mexican champion in the same year and actually in the same week that Oscar was the Latin American champion, and it was actually played within the same 24 hours. So Oscar played Nowi in the Mexican championships in the finals. Now we beat Oscar in a really exciting decider, and then now we played Oscar once again within like 24 hours. And at that time around, Oscar was the victorious one. So that tells you these two are really close by in skill level. They both been to the gold bracket. Actually, that time around, now we got top 16, which was one. At the time, it was the best ever Latin American performance at a World Championship ever. So, yeah, we have two pretty heavy hitters. AV, who's also qualifying right now. Third place, seventh place, silver bracket last year. Really good DAS player. We have a couple of more people lining up for the qualifying rounds. So we have Nowi seat number 1, AV seat number 2. my appropriately named friend Pollo Chido Man, the third seat. Monochromie is currently sitting at 4th seat. Pretty close by on all fronts. I would say. I was gonna say that it was pretty close between Pollo Chido and Monochromie, but pretty close by also with AB and Nowi. AB locked in now. Pulled the headphones in now. Fully concentrated on that. 38 minutes have passed since the qualifier started. So there's 22 minutes left on the clock. 22 minutes. That would be about 3 more max outs if you go pretty efficient and you start your last game before the hour runs by. So still the possibility for Nowi to 6 max once more in a qualifier. Now, for those who don't know, Nowi usually doesn't like to go for those who are not as familiar with Nowi as a couple of other players that we've seen around. He usually doesn't play CTM. Usually doesn't play those sort of tournaments. usually doesn't go for. Sorry, as I was saying, usually doesn't go for CTM tournaments. Doesn't go for Tetris Wars and whatnot. He likes to play mostly on live events, and he especially likes to play on CTWC related events. Back in 2022, it was really interesting to see people's reaction when what was then a random Mexican just showed up and did really well. A lot of people were approaching me at the time, as most of the communities is more comfortable with me at the time. Now that they didn't know Nowi, who's this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he so good? And it's because he doesn't really play online tournaments. He's gonna go. He's planning at least into going into CTWC 2025 after a 2-year hiatus from 2024, 2023. Gonna go back to Pasadena. So don't forget to support these people. These players are gonna be going into the Classic Tetris World Championships later in June. That's gonna help them quite a lot to reach their goal, to get there, to get the lodging, the food, the proper sleep schedule. You don't want to be there like at 12 a.m. and reach your hotel at 1 a.m. You want to do good. Really exciting player list, by the way. I don't think it's a spoiler if I say that a couple of fan favorites are returning to Pasadena. Yeah. A special Japanese person that a lot of people here might be familiar with. I'm gonna leave you in suspense right there. I'm not gonna say who it is, but transition there from Nowi 600,000 after a Tetris. It was a high 500,000 transition. Nice adjustment there for Nowi. Another Tetris 629 for Nowi. Now level 21 for Nowi. 660,000. No push down points. Really hard to push down while you're rolling. Nowi versus Green Team match. Rematch, says Kingsman. I think Kingsman just went ahead and spoiled who's gonna be there present at CTWC. Now we play the Japanese championships. That Mexican right there that you're seeing play is the Japanese champion somehow. So he went there to Japan and beat Green Tea. So Kingsman asking for a nice. Kingsman loves the matches with the story, the rematches, the revenges, the whatnot. So Green Tea's gonna have a warm up with Corian and Sharky. I'm gonna have to bet that's gonna be in friendlies. And Ninja saying that he discovered Nowi first in SoCal. I think SoCal was, it was before the CTWC because it was a qualifying event. I first discovered Nowi actually way before that. I discovered Nowi in the 2021 Mexican Championships. He qualified with DAS at the time. Can you believe it? He was DASing that time around, and he did pretty good for being a new player. He actually played against me. That was the last time I officially beat Nowi, and probably the last time ever that I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna be qualifying later on today. By the way, my name is Pollo. I'm the CTWC Mexico organizer. I've been to multiple CTWC events. I'm the commentator in Spanish for the finals as well, and top 16 actually, top 8, top 16 depends a lot on the year and the schedule. And we're live in Mexico City for the first ever Mexican live championships. 963 for Nowi. Another max out or a triple or a couple of lines are going to be enough. It's going to be a back for Nowi. He's going to go for a Tetris. Tetris for Nowi and instantly topping out. We have 15 minutes left in the clock. So that's going to be 2 max outs more. Nowi could be seeing at a back 6 back if he goes for that, and that would be our top qualifier to beat. Really tough. That's probably going to be close to Oscar's skill level. So I'm going to say that in Spanish for everyone to hear me. 15 minutos, 15 minutos. And I think we have ready another person who's going to qualify. ¿Vas a clasificar después o? So check out the Maturino once more. I'm gonna have to mention that as Kingsman nicely typed in the exclamation mark Maturino command. It's gonna take you right into the Maturino that we created for the tournament. Top players are gonna get a chunk of that prize pool. Check out also Best of 5. It's a pretty good documentary detailing the early stages of the tournament we dearly love, CTWC. And that time that it was a really special year. I'm not gonna spoil that for those who haven't watched it yet. You can watch it on YouTube actually. You can go and support our friend Chris Higgins, the docu-series and the link that is displayed on the bot command that Kingsman just said. Just really nicely typed in, so you can go and check it out. Now we're doing 19 starts, by the way, for those who missed it. It's going to go for 19 starts. It's going to be interesting trying to squeeze as many games as possible there, trying to max out as possible. It is possible for him to get a back-to-back starting 19. It's going to be rough. It's going to be close, but it is possible. And he knows it. That's why he's trying to go for that. 19 starts. It's just a preview of what you could expect from Nowi at CTWC. I may remind our viewers that last year's minimum max outs required was 4. You needed 4 max outs to get in, and you needed a high kicker. And actually, a player named Bland got 4 max outs, but the kicker was not quite there, so it wasn't enough. And now we have another max out there for AB, playing in one of our side stations, our offline side stations. Max out in 28. She's still going for a couple more points.
Es el tercero, ¿no?
So third max out there for AB with Das, I may remind our viewers. Really nice games there going for AB. Now we 400,000 at 100 lines, but you don't transition at 130 lines like you usually do on 18. When you go on a 19 start, you transition at 140 lines, so you have more score potential on 19, and game goes by way faster. That's why you have more attempts. You can score more, and you can score it more frequently. That's why a lot of people try to go for 19 starts when you go for qualifiers. You have to be really good with your tap or with your DAS. So as I was saying, you needed 4 max outs last Classic Tetris World Championships to get in. You needed 4 max outs last World Championships to get in, but it was that was a 2-hour qualifier. So getting more than 4 within anything in an hour is going to be a good prediction of what you can do on a 2-hour game. It's pretty rough. Nerves take a big factor. It's a really busy place. And especially when you travel abroad, I can say from experience, from self-experience, that if you travel from abroad, you feel a huge sense of nerves. That you did that long trip for a reason, and that you have to do as good as you can. That's what I was trying to say, as good as you can. So a lot of people definitely feel that. So getting 4 max outs in a 2-hour span is not an easy task to do. I think that's a bit. That's the Monochromie's best score so far within the qualifier. And we're gonna reach the 10 minutes to go mark in a little bit there. 10 minutes to go now for these players. Actually, now he's on the verge of this being a possibility. Actually, will we see 7 maxouts within an hour? It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be close. We saw Fractal topping out, and he actually could have gotten another game back in 2024 if the rocket screen hadn't stopped him from getting another game in. Yeah, he is. He likes the color palette. Yeah, but he likes the color palette. We have a AV and Pollo Chido Man qualifying on side stations. I believe Pollo Chido Man is doing 9 starts. A really good player in the Tutrio community. AV, our only international, our player from abroad, hailing from the US, the United States of America. No, he actually is qualifying on level 16. That's an actual thing he's doing. Yeah, so it's not a sharpener thing. It is the level. So Nowi nearing into the back 5 max out. So just for reference, Nowi has 4 max outs and a 9.92 kicker. That would have been enough to qualify into the main event last year, but that was in a 2-hour qualifier. Now we have an hour qualifier. Let's see. You can speculate on how much Nowi could do within a 2-hour qualifier. This could be done right now if the pieces come for Nowi. So a couple of misdrops there for Nowi. Still can be done. No, Nowi getting really close to the transition. Oh no, that's gonna be a 993 top out for Nowi. 8 minutes left. 8 minutos. 8 minutes left. Si era kicker. Bueno. Okay. So 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go for the first round of qualifiers to be done with. ¿Quién va a clasificar después? Sí, pero este vino a no saber. ¿Cómo se llama? So our next player who's gonna be qualifying, his name Dramon Day, is also making the debut on anything, qualifying or comp or anything. So that's gonna be interesting. So you can see the scores right there for Enrique, who's asking about how Pollo Chido Man and Navy are doing. Pollo Chido Man is sitting at 269,000 there for him. Navy sitting at 3 maxes and an 874 kicker. Weirdly enough, now we didn't choose to submit that kicker. Doesn't think that basically a 1,000 point difference is gonna be enough. You don't know. I've never seen that happen before though. That would be really interesting to see. The Monochromie switching between 15 starts, 16 starts. You need perfect dash load there. It's gonna be rough with these players to get used to the no latency on the inputs while you play on a CRT, one of those chunky old big TVs that your grandma used to use. Well, those are the ones that we're using right now. We're using the original things, the original controllers, the original hardware, the original everything. So Monochromie is used to playing on LED, one of those newer consoles of monitors. So we're used to seeing those, used to playing on those. Now you have to get yourself comfortable with no latency. Original is always better when you play, when you qualify, especially. There is no qualifier out there that uses the old LED, the new ones. I'm sorry. So we're almost done with the first round of qualifiers. We're 55 minutes into the qualifier. So yeah, would need to be an extremely efficient max out there for Nowi to be able to squeeze in another game and potentially push down. So you'd be able to squeeze in another game. So this is the last game for most players, I'd say. We're making a long bar dependency there for Nowi. Fills it in now. Tetris down the middle, just like Quaid does. I don't know if Quaid is going to be there, by the way, on the CTWC, but now that Kingsman spoiled the fun for everyone, we're going to have green tea back in CTWC from Japan. It had been a while since we didn't see Japanese representatives in the Classic Tetris World Championships. So green tea is going to be there. Nowi most probably is going to be there. We don't know yet. I think he really intends on going. Oscar is going to be there. So 3 minutes to go. 3 minutos para terminar the first batch of qualifiers. Gonna be, I think it is now not possible for Nowi to get a second max out, but this is the last game. This is the one where you wanna go for it. Unless Nowi gets like 50 long bars in a row. That's gonna be, which I think it's not impossible. I think in terms of the programming of the game, that is not an impossibility. So I don't know. Are we gonna see history being made here? 29, 30, 31, 32. Now we're remarking really nicely. A 35-piece route there for Nowi. We survived expertly there by one of our top 4 players. Ooh, mid rotation there for Nowi. But he resetted the game. Todavía estás bien. 2 minutos. No, there's no timer on the screen. We're gonna add that in our second batch of qualifiers. It was kind of hectic here, getting the stream running and stations working and cameras working and people ready. Sí, claro. So 15 seconds to a minute left. So in 15 segundos, un minuto. We're gonna be running into our last minute. Un minuto. Pueden empezar un último juego y lo pueden terminar. ¿Ok? No tienen que terminar en un minuto, pero empiecen su último juego en un minuto. So, if you know Spanish, you know what I just said. That you can start your last game within the qualifying time frame. So you don't have to finish within the hour time frame, and you can see Monochromie there starting probably the last game. Now we're starting the last game. 30 segundos. Otra vez pueden terminar pero empiecen antes de que acabe la hora. So 15 seconds to go. 48. 10 seconds now. We're gonna add the qualifying timer on our second batch of qualifiers. In 3, 2, and it is done. An hour has passed already. This is the last game for our players, and Monochromie fighting for survival. They're probably their nerves. You can hear him gasping from if you were at the live venue. But this is doable. This is still diggable. And AB's finished with her qualifier, sitting at 3 maxouts and an 874 kicker. Really nice qualifier there with Das. And Monochromie actually digged out of that one. Really nice survival. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 piece route there for Nowi. 46, 47, 40, a 50 piece route there for Nowi. 50 pieces without a lumbar. That's the beauty of classic Tetris, I guess. 50 pieces. Getting high now. This is the last game you have to remember, but nice pieces. Nice dig there for Nowi. This is a high pressure environment. Last game, you don't have a second chance with this one. Nice dig there for Nowi, keeping the game alive, and Tetris there for Nowi. Finally, after a 50-piece drought. Jorge, nada más checa si Monochromie tiene un mejor score y... Really good game, really good dig there for Nowi. And we're going to see another drought coming in. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That was almost a 30-piece drought there for Nowi again. The game asking for a really, really good efficiency from Nowi. You want to max out, you want to last max out, you have to fight for it. So not a really good start there for Nowi, but I've heard a lot of people say that if you're droughted within the 18 portion, you're gonna get a lot of long bars in the 19 portion. Let's see. Hopefully that's true. That's the case. There are 2 nicely timed long bars there for Nowi, so that could be a possibility now that the tides are changing there. So the scoreboard is on the right. Here we go. I'm going to try to expand it for you now that Monochromie is not playing anymore. I'm going to expand that so you can take a better look at it. This is our qualifiers so far. Nowi with 4 maxes so far. 992 kicker. So really nice score there for Nowi. Nice score line there. 100 lines, and 358,000. Probably not the best score, but those that are just tuning in, Nowi transitioned his first game of the qualifier with the 350-ish, 370-ish transition into 19, and still was a double away of a max out into 29. No, he was I believe a Tetris away. Still nice, insane efficiency, almost 700,000 post-transition. For those that are familiar with how this game works, is really nice efficiency on post-transition. And this is the last game from our reigning Mexican champion. You can see there Pollo Chido Man, who finished his qualifier with a 224, 224,850 sitting. Oh, that was Monochromie. 269,000 for Pollo Chido Man. You can see there, just gazing at Nowi's board. Dirty Tetris there for Nowi. Centered well. Transitions 485,000 for Nowi. Last transition of the qualifier with a 4 maxouts on the record so far. Will he get the last one? Will he get the 5 max out qualifier within an hour? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good indication that you're pretty good at this game, I'd say. Oh, hangs the longboard there. Now we need to know. Lombard gets the longboard. Touches for Nowi. That was a really good scare. That could have been game ending if the longboard decided to not come in the proper place, the correct time. I think the nerves are getting slightly to him. It's gonna slow him down a little bit. It's not fatal yet, and this is a big drought as well. It was a big drought. So a lot of pieces without the longbar. This is a 20. We're going into 2023 longbar drought there for Nowi. This has been a really rough sequence of pieces there. RNG has not been kind to Nowi. And now 550 for Nowi. This is you'd probably like to be a little higher. You can see the touch rate at 48%. You'd probably like to see it a little higher. Shout out to James Chen. You'd probably like to see the touch rate be a little higher. At this point in the game, you need 60% if you want to max out before 29. Now this is a rough sequence there for Nowi. Needs the long bar to save his stack. Oh, this is getting rough for Nowi. High elevated dig. This is definitely gonna need 29 now that the game is not going as he intended. Really tense for Nowi. You can see the concentration. That square is gonna be a problem there. Nice tuck there. Double rolls now. Getting it done though. Really nice effort there for Nowi. That's a really good longbar for the stack. Beautiful placements. I was gonna say beautiful pieces, but these are not beautiful pieces. These are beautiful placements from a top player like Nowi. Now this is not a really good setup. T-spin hits the T-spin. That was crucial to hit. That was crucial T-spin to hit for Nowi. He, as I said earlier into the stream, he had been playing really nice 29. Now the pieces need to come. There's a longbar, life-saving longbar touches for Nowi, and 600,000. This is definitely gonna need 29. Another touches there for Nowi. Would like to J or an L. Beautiful placements for Nowi. Beautiful pieces, swiping the sweat, the nervousness out. Now this is all left into 29 portion. Will he get the score? Will he get the max out? We couldn't ask for a better ending for the first batch of qualifiers now. And you don't want to leave, you want to stay here to see if this is going to come through. Singling and doubling, nice way to go. You have to ease on the speed. What a dig from Nowi, saying a lot of people in the chat. That was really good. Really hard to pull off when the pressure is on you. 6th max out. I mean, he's definitely gonna get either of the two top seeds, but let's not forget that Oscar Godinez, a really strong player on his own, is waiting for his qualifying slot. So you need those 6 max outs to try to get that, snatch that pride #1 seed. 6 max outs is what now he's aiming to get. Really nice kill screen there. Now he's been improving a lot on the 29 portion of the game. Slight misdrop. It's not gonna be a big deal. Oh, that's gonna be rough. That is gonna be rough. Board spiraling out of control. Still diggable though, but I think that's gonna be it. 780 for Nowi. Really good squall. Really good score. Almost a 60,000 chase score into 29. So that's our first round of qualifiers there. We're gonna get everything ready, don't go anywhere. We're gonna start and we're gonna get ready for our next batch of qualifiers.